right, ladies and gentlemen, I have heard a lot of really good things about this vid, and I know that this video probably has to be really good because boy oh boy, we got Blazion with 1.8k subs, and I heard that before this video, Brother Man only had about 1,000. And when the topic is something like a factual comparison of Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, and somebody with, when he uploaded this, 1,000 subs is getting 33k views in one day, it's probably gotta be good. So with that, let's go ahead, let's check it out, and see how much glue Brother Man is bringing to this conversation over here.
Long-awaited factual comparison video of Wuthering Waves to Genshin Impact, made by yours truly, Blazion. Before we start,
I'm telling you, having an accent as like a CC is a buff. It is a buff. See, creators like me who just speak in like American English, I'm operating with a handicap over here. The accents actually make content like this so much better.
I will make the following disclaimer. I don't care if this video upsets you. It is rooted in reality. And with factual evidences being shown and linked in the description, without further ado,
Wait, he brought proof? Proof? Wait, did he just lie?
Let's set this question to rest, once and for all. First point. Anniversary rewards. Huge community backlash was made towards Wuthering Waves on its first anniversary.
Absolutely. Yeah, people were talking about Kuro games, like Kuro like murdered their dog, murdered their goldfish, and then murdered their goldfish's dog all at the same time after they heard about the rewards.
Some of these complaints were made by these tasted Genshin fans, so let's make a trip down the memory lane. The first Genshin...
And we can confirm that the subreddit mods for the Wuthering Waves subreddit, they confirmed that there was active brigading all over with all the posts being made during the anniversary, but they just allowed it to happen.
Genshin Impact anniversary was on September 28 on patch 2.1. The anniversary in a TLDR gave 10 wishes from the login event, 1600 Primogems from the in-game mail, 2270 Primogems from the Moonchase Festival and smaller events, and also a single anniversary banner of Kokomi. All of this making a total of 34 pulls to be only used on the Kokomi banner. Reminder that Kokomi's Chinese voice actress got harassed by Genshin fans on a stream chat over their displeasure with the character during the anniversary. Massive backlash was also made because the company kept ignoring the player base. The community resorted to review bombing Genshin Impact's app ratings, dropping Google Play from 4.5 plus to a 1.9 ratio. Wuthering Waves' first anniversary is on May 22. In this patch, the players are getting 10 pulls on...
I think that just shows how crazy the Genshin community is. And of course, how bad the rewards are as well. Because this is the thing. I don't think WuWa's rating even, like, dropped that significantly. I don't think so. I don't think it dropped that significantly from any news regarding the anniversary. It didn't, right? That's why I think so much of the hate was literally manufactured. Literally manufactured.
On gifts of Grand Celebration, 5 pulls on gifts of Grand Reunion, 10 pulls on QB Derpy Warm-Up, 1000 Astrites on Cube, Cubic, and QB, 10 pulls on Gilded Night Market, and due to the community's backlash, we also got an additional 10 pulls on another login event, making this a total of 47 pulls. Banner-wise, Wuthering Waves split into 2 phases. Phase 1 consists of Zani, the newly introduced 5-star character, and the Phase 1...
Hey, remember, that's 47 just in literal pulls. 47 just in literal pulls, and this is not counting anything from like astrites from dailies, astrites from the events, none of that. Just like the literal number of like the gold pulls that you're getting.
On anniversary banners of Jian, Yinlin, Zessie, Shengliao, and Phoebe.
Wait, why motherfucker got 379?
Phase 2 consists of Siakona, the other newly introduced 5-star character, and the Phase 2 anniversary banners of Jinxie, Changli, Carlotta, Rosia, and Brandt, once again allowing the players further options to spend their acquired pulls throughout the patch. Is this not enough rewards for what's expected from an anniversary? No, it's not. However, if you are a Genshin Impact player who keeps throwing jabs at Wuthering Waves, you should keep in mind that your game has more characters, the PD is higher, you're getting only 34 pulls, and you have no choice in what to spend.
I think one thing that people also have to factor in is that WuWa not actually having a lot of 4 stars can, for a lot of people, be a good thing. And the reason why I'm going to shill the lack of 4 stars is because when you get a dupe of a 4-star, that converts into more corals. And then more corals means it's easier for you to either get free S2s of units or simply convert them back into a pull. Every 4-star dupe that you end up pulling essentially converts into a pull or more sequence nodes, however you want to view it, right? And the end result is that WuWa has reran so many 4 stars over the course of the game that every 10 pull, if you are, counting the corals, every 10 pull is really a 9 pull in terms of how much it costs. Genuinely. Because if you're a day 1 player and you've regularly pulled on banners, I think you might actually have every character S6. You might actually just have every 4-star character at S6. I think I do as well.
And you have no choice in what to spend, so don't throw stones in a glass house. Now I know what you might be thinking about the compensation rewards from Kuro games.
I'd appreciate new 4 stars. Some people wouldn't, right? Because this is the thing. Bad 4 stars are worse than no 4 stars. That's my opinion on it. It is worse to have simply more 4 stars that are dog shit and you're never going to use them than just not adding 4 stars in the first place because of the whole coral argument. Guess what? I would have been happier if Yohu was never added to the game. I think most of us would have been happier if Yohu wasn't in the game. Because that means all of those bullshit pulls, all of those stupid 4-star pulls that went into Yohu, who you never fucking use and will never use, could have just been coral on your account or 4-star copies of better units. Like, that Yohu could have been a Sanhua dupe, or a Mortifi dupe, or a Yang Yang dupe. But instead, it's a Yohu dupe, and that's useless.
And that's the leeway to the next point. Second point, compensations. The most known issue from Genshin Impact was the Zhongli incident. Zhongli had a lot of bug fixes, and the only thing the community got after massive backlash was 500 Primo Gems, a total of 3 pulls. Wuthering Waves at the launch had many issues, so Kuro Games give 10 pulls and also 3 5-star standard banner characters.
And this is so well received that they just decided to extend this permanently. You might be saying, oh, well, Saint, this is going to expire once it hits May 22nd. And so, you know what, it doesn't actually count as like a reward. It expires on May 22nd, 2025, after a full year of being available as launch compensation. And now they're releasing it again as a beginner event where you'll just have a free 5-star at the end of like that beginner event. So essentially, this is going to be permanently available. You'll just have to do a little bit more, or really just get onboarded with the game. I'm imagining the tasks are just going to be like, oh, level up the character to like level 30 or 40. Like it's just going to involve you progressing through the game, and then you get the free 5-star at like the end of the progression track. So it's just going to be there, just at a different time.
Selector. Talking about pool,
which is actually probably pretty good. It probably would be better for somebody to be more knowledgeable about the game, especially if they're not going to look up guides before getting their free 5-star. That way you'll end up with less people fucking wasting it on Calcharo.
Pulls and rewards is another leeway for the next point. Third point, gacha system differences. The gacha system of Genshin Impact has never disclosed the actual odds, but we can get them with an average between sites showing how garbage it is when compared to Wuthering Waves. Now that we have talked about the character banner differences, let's talk about the weapon banners.
People oftentimes equate every single pull in WuWa to be the same as a pull in Star Rail. Like, they say a WuWa pull is the same exact thing as a Star Rail pull, and is the same exact thing as like a Genshin pull or a ZZZ pull. It's worth more because your pity is lower in WuWa. Your baseline rate of pulling a 5-star is higher in WuWa. And the end result is that soft pity starts at 65 in WuWa for both the weapon and the character. While in Genshin Impact and HSR and ZZZ, it starts at like fucking, or maybe ZZZ is lower. But I know for sure in Genshin Impact and HSR, it starts at fucking 75. So at a baseline, pretty much everybody is saving 10 pulls on each character banner. Oh, and the weapon's guaranteed too. I forgot about that one. Yeah, anyone ever lose their 75-25 and just feel a lack of desire to keep playing the game? I know that's happened to me a couple of times.
In Wuthering Waves, the weapon banner is guaranteed. In Genshin Impact, we have 2 weapons in one banner, making an additional 50-50 between winning the limited weapon and also winning the weapon the players want instead of the other. This led to the Staff of Homa incident, where a content creator named Tectone wasted $1,000 for a Staff of Homa. Hoyoverse had to change how that banner worked to
I can't even believe that it was okay for them to make it 2 fate points. Like, oh yeah, by the way, lost your 37.5%? Well, you're gonna have to lose it 2 times, idiot, before you're guaranteed. Like, what?
at least guarantee the desired weapon at the third 5-star pool. This got even further changed on 5.0, where instead of 2, you only needed to lose 1. Speaking about more differences of game systems, let's talk about stamina. Fourth point, stamina systems. Noted in my most known video, we have resin and wave plates in both games to time gate the players. The crucial difference between Genshin and WuWa is that Genshin's talent domains are only unlocked in certain weekdays.
How are they still doing this in 2025? I'm just gonna be honest. How are they still doing this shit in 2025, bro? Like, it's just, this is like the fucking caveman of gacha games.
Whenever players have maximum stamina, they can condense their resin so they can use it on the specific days they want.
They should get sued for this. Like, I don't know what for, but I feel like it should just happen.
Unlike Wuthering Waves, where all domains are open, which means you can farm whenever you want, so the adding of stored stamina is a good quality of life for the players that skip a few days of the game, not as a crutch to help.
I don't know anybody who thinks that, like, this is actually a good thing. Like, I have never seen even, like, the most dire of Hoyoshills also doesn't defend this.
The players deal with the poorly designed system that Genshin Impact made in the first place. Talking about stamina reminds me of the gameplay loop to build your character. So 5th point, artifact and ecosystem differences.
Guys, I think we finally hit the point in WuWa's development, or WuWa's life, where I've finally seen people stop complaining about the ecosystem. I haven't received a single comment or a single mention of people bitching about the ecosystem in like a couple of months. I think people finally realized, wow, maybe I was just being a little bitch this entire time. Maybe I was just being like a little bitch this entire time. It turns out if I level in 5 increments and I stop 25 banging, I actually have a lot of EXP. It turns out when I stop feeding pieces into other pieces and literally throw echo experience away, I have more.
The artifact system from Genshin has a lot of RNG built in. RNG on upgrades, and its purpose is only to stat boost while being time gated by resin, often yielding bad artifacts and bad upgrades, prolonging the grind. The Acro system from WuWa has less RNG built in, with less stat.
Tuners are annoying. Why it's not auto? I agree. I think that if tuners were auto, like if you just leveled up a piece and then it immediately tuned it, that would be like fine.
Pool to draw from. The substats are maxed from the start. There is active gameplay with the first selected echo on field, and the process of farming artifacts costs no stamina, only tuning, making it possible to farm endlessly boss echoes in the overworld with the right crit main stats. 6th point.
They also, they fucking reduced the respawn timer too. So farming forecast right now is almost like, it's like a competition to see how fast you can spawn kill that motherfucker.
Mobility. Genshin Impact's movement is a detriment on the overworld, either due to low climbing speeds.
Guys, I played Genshin Impact again to like level up Escoffier, and I had to collect these little seashell corals. These little seashell corals in Fontaine. And like halfway through, I felt like my head, like over here, it started like getting hot. I started feeling like angry. Like playing Genshin Impact, I started feeling like anger or something like that. And it was just, I don't know what it was, but I realized after I stopped regularly playing Genshin Impact, I had not felt like, that was a feeling I frequently had playing Genshin. And ever since I started WuWa, I've never had it. And so it was like unfamiliar to me in a way. Like the almost like blind rage that was occurring as I would swim for 3 minutes just to pick up 2 of the materials that I need 120 of to max out a character.
Fast stamina bar burning, the fact that quality of life changes are pay-gated in limited 5-star characters, or region locked, while Wuthering Waves movement is far better than Genshin's. Any character can double jump, you can run sideways and upwards in walls, you can even leap through roofs. And you also have access to a grappling hook gadget that is.
Oh, God forbid you start you try to go up somewhere vertically in Genshin Impact after playing WuWa. I think that's it's just a game quit angle. You experience running up a wall one time, and now every single time you have to climb in Genshin, you just want to go fuck yourself.
Region locked. And also running doesn't consume stamina outside of combat. And since 2.0, the players have flight on the new zones.
A lot of people said TOF exploration is better. You want to know what those people actually have when it comes to TOF experience? They never actually played TOF. They just see gameplay. They just see videos of like the stupid shit that you do in TOF, and they don't realize how fucking clunky it feels. Nobody actually knows that TOF has some of the most clunky fucking exploration on the planet. They just see one motherfucker like jumping through the air, and they're like, whoa, where's WuWa?
Instead of just gliding. And before you talk about it, it doesn't matter that Cantarella has fast swimming speed. Nobody needs to swim when they can just grab a jetpack and fly at Mach 1 speeds. Disingenuous comparison that fails to make a point harder than the amount of failure you are in life. Speaking of life failures, let's talk about gooning. 7th point, sexualization.
Oh, I hope he shows Escoffier.
Wait a second. characters are sexualized in a game genre that profits from sexualized characters? God damn it, El Kuro Games. Genshin will never sexualize any content. Wait a second, girls can have this body and it's not implied sexualization? Oh, this one's definitely not sexual, right? What about the poses in this trailer? Totally not suggestive. Okay, so let me understand. It's okay when Genshin does it because you wanna close your eyes when you see it, but when other gacha games do it, being more sexual or not, now that's a problem? It sounds like hypocrisy. It sounds like someone is being intellectually dishonest.
It's Hoyo players. What do you expect, brother man? It's literally Hoyoverse players.
Speaking of intellect, let's use this as a leeway as well and talk about the color mixing systems that the...
So I think he's saying leeway. I think he means segue. He said leeway a couple of times. I think he actually means segue.
kids like playing. 8 point. Combat system differences. Genshin Impact has elements. The gameplay revolves around mixing of these elements, creating elemental reactions. Wuthering Waves has elements too. However, the gameplay revolves around the forte circuits of each character and the proper use of intro and outro skills.
Yeah,
but
nice
micro
team, bro.
things are also important. Parry and dodges, stun and staggers, and the usage of the main slotted echo from each character in combat. Yes!
Your Gian needs more ER though. That's fucking pathetic.
There are no reactions in Wuthering Waves. The game is designed that way. Whoever says the elements are dual is choosing to ignore the fact that these two games have different combat system identities. If you really want a color matching game, go play Genshin then, you goddamn toddler. One you mix and match colors to make elemental reactions, while the other you are playing a game against enemies that actually attack you, not like fighting an Illichurl that walks back and forward the entire time, and
You gotta mention the racist pillar boss. You gotta mention the racist pillar boss, buddy.
that has a billion HP on the Spiral Abyss. Now that we talked about the core differences between the game combat systems, we're moving to the 9th point, combat system rework. Genshin Impact in 3.0 got Dendro as an element to not only help bad electro units become viable and revamp the addictive elemental reactions, because all the electro reactions sucked ass, and the only usable teams were electro-charged Child with Fischl, a team that you didn't need to prioritize because Child would always prefer the option to vaporize. Other reactions like Shit Conduct and Overlunch were both awful. One that prioritizes basic non-elemental damage in a mix and match elemental damage game, crippling the hottest girl in Genshin Impact, and the other one, if you're already building Kashin, using power units with Kashin was the least of your problems. With the arrival of Dendro, Dendro helped many units like Kashin, with Dendro and electro reactions of Quicken, Aggravate, and Quicken Spread, until
It's kind of funny that the second region in Genshin Impact, or really the third region in Genshin Impact, was the Electro one, and like, yeah, damn, that element sucked balls. 1,000,000%, it was just fucking awful.
everyone realized that a better reaction changed the meta of the game. The burning reaction changed the meta drastically, teaching the players the hazards of global warming and to not incinerate plants, but incinerate your enemies instead. Speaking of plants, the actual meta-defining
Guys, why do we even talk about burning? That's the most useless burning is the most useless fucking reaction. It's actually the most useless one. They had to release a whole specific character to not make burning suck ass. Just like how they released a whole specific character not to make freeze suck ass.
reaction is Bloom, a seed made from mixing Hydro and Dendro. This seed can either explode, or you can detonate it with Hyper Bloom, creating homing grassy missiles, or even explode it with Burgeon in a large AoE that also affects the player. All these reactions except for burning changed the meta drastically. Vaporize and Melt were now just decent reactions, but you needed Hyper Investment, unlike Hyper Bloom, where the character that triggers the reaction is the only one that needs Elemental Mastery. You know, the stat that was almost useless before? By implementing this new element, it forcefully changed the meta of the game, making old reactions worse and bad reactions obsolete. In Wuthering Waves 2.1, the developers implemented a new combat mechanic named negative status effects. We know of the names of these status, but the only one implemented was Spectrofrazzle with Phoebe and Rover. Remember what I said before? Wuthering Waves is not focused on doing elemental reactions like Genshin is. Team comps are made because of the synergy between the character kits, not elements. Frazzle exists, but it doesn't change the core of the game, adding an additional aspect of team building. And with this leeway, we're gonna talk about the quote-unquote problems.
Guys, this is the thing. I think that this is like a fair sort of take to make. It's a lot more focused on kit synergies. And just because the kit synergies happen to have debuffs, I'm telling you, you just gotta view Spectrofrazzle as the same thing as like dealing heavy attack damage. Spectrofrazzle is the same thing as dealing basic attack damage. And so if you deal basic attack damage, you want the basic attack damage buffer. If you deal heavy attack damage, you want the heavy attack damage buffer. If you deal Spectrofrazzle damage, you want the Spectrofrazzle damage buffer. It kind of just is what it is, right? The system's been in the game the entire time, and it just so happens that Spectrofrazzle is going to involve a Spectro character. And guess what? That's why Phoebe is a better support for Zani than Mortifi is, even though Zani deals a majority heavy attack damage.
10th point, team building. There will always be an argument that there aren't many Frazzle applicators yet. My argument is that this is not the new core of the game. Spectre has Jinxie, a great DPS that is paired amazingly with Cantarella or Yinlin. Carlotta has a high damage potential, extremely increased by Zessie's Glacial buffs. Specific units like Carlotta, who use the specific best in slot amplifier, are further distinct from weaker teams. Hence why Zani, a Spectre Frazzle DPS, pairs best with the Frazzle amplifier.
It's the exact point, right? It's been like this the entire time in the game. And people saying that Frazzle is inherently more predatory, they're a little bit on crack. Sure, you can think about it from the perspective of the only Frazzle amplifier in the game is Phoebe. But guess what? What if they just release a 4-star unit that amplifies Frazzle? Or what if they release a support that amplifies all debuff-oriented damage by like 40%? Or something like that, right? You have the 4-star version for a lot of things, and you also have the 5-star version for a lot of things. And guess what? Jeja is a lot better than Tao Chi. Jeja's a lot better than Tao Chi. But you say you don't believe in 4 stars? I said I don't believe in bad 4 stars. Like Yohu. Yeah, if they add another Yohu to the game, y'all fucking yell about it, because she sucks ass. She's fucking useless. All she does is clog up the banner and make you get less corals.
From 2.1 until 2.3, in the 2 patches when Syakona comes, we will have 4 characters with Frazzle in their kits. So let's talk about Dendro now. 3.0, Dendro, we got Tignari, Kole, and Dendro Traveler. Tignari is a quickened DPS that isn't suitable for Bloom teams, so let's remove him from the picture. Kole Dendro application, only her ultimate is good. So basically you are forcing yourself to use both Dendro Traveler and Kole in patch 3.0 on a game that specifically focuses on elemental reactions. 3.1, Nilo was released, but the Dendro application was lackluster for the team that needed it the most. And also you would need a healer, either Barbara, which sucked ass, or Kokomi, the better alternative. 3.2, Nahida was released, finally adding the best Dendro applicator to the game. However, team-wise, the game that revolves around elemental reactions tricks certain playstyles to specific elemental reactions. So congratulations, Genshin fans, you guys won a new life skill, self-embarrassment. The biggest
They were born with it.
issue about this trivialized comparison, the core game of mix and matching elements makes specific characters for specific niches, and these characters cannot function outside of their specific niches. Frazzle is a new mechanic that is not tied to the Spectre element. Syakona has Frazzle application on her Resonance Liberation, a character that isn't Spectre in the first place, and also the mechanic was introduced in 2.1. We are still in 2.3, so the lack of team building from Genshin players is the most ridiculous argument one can make.
You wanna know what would make this predatory? Is if you needed the Spectral Frazzle team to clear content. Like how you need Casterus to kill Pollux, the current HSR MOC boss, in less than 20 cycles.
No matter how badly you want to frame, finding anything possible, try to shit on this game, doing everything except playing your own game, from VA's harassment, bomb threats, killing animals, mass reporting games, just to spy on their communities. So it's finally time to say my own opinion that I've been waiting for this entire time. Delusion is the least negative trait you got. The only dopamine sources you get are from pulling characters with your mom's credit card, mixing and matching over saturated colors, and secretly jerking off to Genshin porn while claiming you hate gacha game sexualization in social media. You are chronically online with no desirable personality traits. And the only way to pretend you are a good person is to use that Hutao or Farina profile picture. Because nobody gives a fuck about your disgusting personality if they see how disgusting you look in person. Like a psychopath, masking someone else's personality to appear sympathetic when you only care about yourself and getting social media clout. The extents you people go to defame others and start shit, because your game is and always was in a garbage state, is your wrongdoing. You are the reason for why Genshin never got better, because you kept silencing the people who actually cared for the game. The beautiful thing about starting YouTube now is that I had to deal with so many two-faced people across my life, so it's so much easy to find them, and Genshin's community is filled with them.
Guys, this is the thing. A lot of people talk about how Wuthering Waves, the community, all they do is compare to Genshin Impact. All they do is, like, compare to Genshin Impact and, like, cause issues and problems. Yeah, we say shit that's actually rooted in reality and makes sense. That's what this video is doing over here. Genshin Impact players, they just like making stuff up. Why is Maggie on the screen? There were like 20 Maggies on the screen.
Not just the community, the content creators too. A bunch of losers who cater to kids. How fucking weird is that? I might have 200 subs only in my channel, but I'm not selling my soul just
Wait, he had 200 when he made this? Oh shit, brother. That's a lot in one video.
To be relevant, and I want to believe that every single sub is above 18 on my channel, even if I'm just at 200 subs Andy. So that's the last point made. As you can see, not only I can give you a factual comparison, but I can also give you my own opinion in the end too. For the people who stayed until now, thank you so much for watching until the end. If you like my honesty, don't forget to subscribe. 99% of the people watching aren't even subscribed. Join my Discord server. We already have 20 people here since May 5, the start of my channel. And last but not least, follow me on X. And see you next time. Goodbye.
Hey, good fucking video, man. Good fucking video. Again, I don't think he necessarily linked the glue that he was talking about over here, but I think he brought a lot of really concrete examples for every single thing he was talking about over here. I think that what this video did was that it went ahead and it addressed a lot of like the common misinformation that will be spouted about Wuthering Waves to inherently, right, just go ahead and talk shit about it. And the comparisons that people make to attack WuWa are so bad, it's unbelievable. So unrealistic, it's unbelievable. And there are so many people that like to actually cosplay WuWa players in the WuWa community to also reinforce these points and continue talking shit. And all it takes is just a simple address to realize, damn, these guys are so fucking stupid, it's unbelievable. So yeah, with that, let me know what you all think. I think, again, this was a great fucking vid. Peace.